Hello, welcome back to Do It Yourself. In the previous episodes of this series, I almost completed a Bluetooth audio amplifier in a suitcase. In this episode, I will finish the suitcase, connect the car wiring and also connect a cordless drill battery. Enjoy and don't forget to like, subscribe and comment.
Do it self!
The only step left to complete the suitcase is to mount the decorating rings on the speakers. I just hot glued them in place. Should this prove to be insufficient, then I can always think of a better mechanism. It required some fiddling because the screws got in the way of the rings, but finally I got all rings in place. Now the suitcase is officially finished and I can use it on mains power already. Still remaining the car battery connection and the Makita 18 volts battery. The first car to mount the wiring in is the Beetle. The battery will be close to the mounting point for the cigarette lighter connector, so I don't have to run wiring all through the car. The battery is mounted under the rear seats and I will mount the connector in a plate just in front of the battery. I bought two sets of a cigarette lighter plug, connector, fuse holder and switch. Here you can see the partial assembly of the wiring. The cable from the plug to the suitcase will be about 5 meters, so I can also put the suitcase around the car or even on top of it. I connected a 12 volt plug and the cigarette lighter plug to the cable with solder and crimp tube. The fuse holder now holds a 20 amp fuse, but I think I can go down to as low as 5 amps. I will figure that out later. When working on a car, always disconnect the negative battery terminal first. This prevents any accidental short circuit when working on the positive side. I connected the positive wiring of the new wiring setup to the positive terminal of the battery. Immediately behind it is the fuse, so any short circuit in the new wiring will be caught by the fuse. I connected the negative wire to an existing ground connection in the car with a piggyback connector. Then a little test to find out if it works.
Bluetooth mode.
And of course it always works the first time in the final video. As a mounting plate I used the 1.2mm plate that I also used for the suitcase. After some coats of paint, I mounted the lighter connector and the switch in the plate. Then, from the pile of scrap, the shelf with stuff and the corner of hope, I got some old-fashioned screws that looked well with the Beetle. And there it is, a dedicated lighter plug for 12 volts in the car. It all fit well in the car, and after another test round I cleaned up the wiring and could finally close the back seat. I was happy with the result, a boom car!
Even wat ik heb je lief. Ik heb je liever.
Now for the real off-grid experience, battery power. I transformed a piece of hardwood that I had laying around into a receptacle for the battery. I did that mainly off camera. I actually created 3 receptacles, so I can also store 2 batteries inside the suitcase. Unfortunately, my Dremel tool stopped working, so I could not finish the 2 storage spaces for the video. I created two battery connector plates, similar to the ones in the cordless drill, so they would line up with the battery. After drilling some holes, I mounted them in the wooden receptacle with the battery in place, so I was sure that the connector plates would line up perfectly. A check with a multimeter shows that indeed I can get power from these connector plates. However, right now it's pretty dangerous since it's easy to create a short circuit. I will get back to that later. First, I created the wiring. I used two closed ring connectors for the battery side, which I clamped and crimped to the wire. Then I mounted them to the battery connector plates. The other end of the wire is another 12-volt connector that directly connects to the knob sound amplifier. Another test run and this setup also works. I expected a bit more power from the amplifier with the 18-volt battery compared to the 12-volt car battery,
Bluetooth mode.
but the output level was quite similar in the end. To protect the battery connector plates, I milled some slots in a wooden plate to which I secured the battery connector with some screws. Then I mounted the entire assembly inside the suitcase and tested the connection to the amplifier. It all worked, so we're officially done with the build. Here I show you some photos of the completed suitcase to wrap up this build. Oh, and the second car, that requires some wire routing through the car body, which will probably happen this winter. I didn't want to wait for that. It will be ready before the next camping season. Now the project's officially done, so as always, thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next project.
Do it self!